Hey there, I'm Sierra Bailey with Doers, Shakers, Makers, and I want to have a quick conversation with you today about how to decide what one thing you could be adding to your business right now. Now, I stress one thing because I have found that the instinct with so many people suddenly having a great deal of downtime and not going out means that they have some more time perhaps in their home office or just some time with their computer or to think about perhaps the services they are offering or their marketing efforts or any variety of things that have to do with their business. Now, why am I saying one thing here? Because you should not be trying to do all of the things. There is an old saying that we greatly underestimate how much we can do in the long term, but overestimate how much we can do in the short term. And I'm sure we're all very familiar with this when we add 55 things to our to-do list for the day. And yet we don't think about what we can actually accomplish in an entire year if we add up a series of tiny things. All right. As I keep stressing, we're going to think about that one thing. How do you decide what the one thing you should be adding to your business or doing to improve your business or thinking about the future with your business should be? Let's, of course, as I love to every time, visit for a second whatever your personal values are, your mission of your business, all of that. So think about the things that really align with what makes you the most excited, with what your skills are, with what you really want to be working on. So we'll start there. But then what's the next step? Because I'm sure that if you start there, there is a whole variety of things that you're feeling like you could add and that easily could become part of your business. And if you're like me and like most talented tiny business owners, you think, oh, I have a whole month. I can improve my marketing and I can start a blog and I can start a podcast and I can add 18 new products that can help my customers as services. And oh, maybe I could design something to actually sell. And that's great and all, and I love that thinking, but I would call that a brainstorming session. And I would say that you should write down everything that you're thinking about, and that's fantastic. And then you should look and say, of all these things that I just wrote down and brainstormed, of all those things that I just said, what are the things that really align with my mission, with my values, with my strengths, all of that, right? So here we are. First part is done. Next part is all about your people. There is a lot to be said about having a great idea and researching it and thinking a lot about it. Well, this hasn't been done. Sometimes this hasn't been done because there's no need for it or somebody would not pay for it or something like that. Okay, so that's legit. Sometimes it's not done because you wouldn't get enough of a return on your investment for it. So you may have a great idea, but if somebody is only, let's say, going to pay $3, one would call that what the market will bear for an object, but it's going to take you $2.85 to make it. That's another reason why somebody is probably not doing that. So people may pay for it, but they just wouldn't pay enough to make it worth your time. That happens a lot with services and with products. So then, the thought is, okay, is there a way that I can either automate it and make my costs lower, perhaps by ordering the raw materials cheaper or having it manufactured or outsourcing the time? There are things to play in if you're really stuck on that idea. But ideally, you want to have whatever your idea is, even if it means content, somebody still has to take that content in, and you want that content in turn to bring you business. That's why they call it content marketing. The point of marketing is to get your message out there about what you are offering. So if you're doing content marketing, you are creating content that helps get the word out about you, that helps show people that you are an expert, that helps people think of your name top of mind in whatever category you're in. But if nobody is going to be taking in that content, watching your videos, reading your blog posts, listening to your podcasts, then that is not content that is doing you any good. So in the second part of figuring out the one thing for you to do, you really want to be thinking about, well, is it one going to solve a problem for your people? Because if it's not solving a problem that your people are having, sure, maybe you're thinking, oh, I could go out into another market and I can solve a problem for some new people. That's fine and good, but make sure, one, you know who the people are, two, what their problem is, and three, that you are solving it. So even if it means your people, knowing your people, what their problem is, how to solve it. And then Will they either purchase, use, want, take in, listen to, watch, whatever it is that you're putting out there? Are you going to be putting it out there in a place where your people are? Because if you are creating all of this fantastic content and then you're putting it on, let's say, TikTok, when your average customer is a 55-year-old woman who lives in the suburbs, there's going to be a disconnect and nobody is going to watch it. So right now, when you're sitting there thinking and you're looking at all these ideas that you have and you're getting so inspired and you're feeling very creative to do all the things, I want you to focus in on the one thing. Hey, if you get that one thing done, you can move on to the second thing. But I want you to not only think of these great ideas and start to do them, but to actually implement them and follow through and get them done and out there. And in order to do that, you need to really focus on those things in addition to whatever else is going on in your life and in your work and in your business. So by picking one thing to start with and then starting with the first couple of steps, that's all you need to think about to get that thing going, you're starting to really bring in some focus and to make sure that you are getting the best use of your time. So before you decide to start a podcast and a blog and a YouTube channel and put out 8 more projects, sit down and think for a minute. Am I doing all the things that align with who I am and what my business is and where I want to be? And is all of the stuff that I'm doing right now aligning with my person, my ideal customer, the person who I'm trying to reach? Will they actually feel like their problem is being solved? Does it solve a problem for them? And if it will solve a problem for them, do they find value in it enough to either watch it or listen to it or purchase it? And then take off on that one great idea, because it is amazing what you can do in a month. That is, what is April? 30 days? That's a 30 whatever. April is 30 days. That is an entire block of 30 days where you could do a little bit each day and get something accomplished. But if you're all over the place and trying to work on 15 things at once, you probably won't get them all done. You probably will start to be distracted, maybe get a little not feeling great about where you are with them. Focus on one. It will help you get there. Focus on one thing that will help your people, that you know that you will be able to deliver to them and that they want. And good luck with it. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. You can find the Facebook group, Doers, Shakers, Makers. The podcast has plenty more information, also Doers, Shakers, Makers. And come on over to MsSierraBailey.com to find out all sorts of stuff about learning new things and how you can get help making that one big idea work. But thank you so much for listening today. I hope you're inspired to use this time to get one big thing going. My name is Sierra Bailey. This is Doers, Shakers, Makers videos, and I come to you every week on Tuesdays with a new quick tip. Have a fantastic week.